Welcome to the Midwest. My name is Jesse, and today is a beautiful day. Right now, it is, last I checked, it's 19 degrees Fahrenheit, which is this many degrees Celsius. I should convert to Celsius in the wintertime because it's a lower number and it seems even more impressive. We're in the negatives when it comes to Celsius already, so get to see your breath, enjoying a beautiful day. But today, I'm answering a question about cold exposure that Carlin sent me an email, and basically it has to do with comfort and discomfort. Let's talk about that today. Welcome to the Midwest. My name is Jesse, and today I'm enjoying some outdoor cold exposure. It's just a beautiful day here in the Midwest. We had a really strong cold front move in. The breeze is just really adding to my cold exposure. It's well below freezing. It's 19 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, this many degrees Celsius, and I'm having a really good day. The sun is out, which actually really makes it nice. I really like it whenever the sun's out and I'm having a cold exposure. But today I want to answer a question that actually I think might be on a lot of people's minds, and that is this: when it comes to cold exposure, am I constantly trying to be uncomfortable? Actually, Carlin wrote me an email, and in the subject line it says, "Are you constantly seeking discomfort?" And I think this is a good just general question, because I teach a lot of things, and most of what I do when I coach and when I do personal training, it's not your traditional personal training. I also do that, but what I normally focus on is what I consider mindset training. Really, when it comes down to it, it's mindset training. When it comes to breath work, there's all kinds of these different kinds of breath work. When it comes to cold exposure, heat exposure, when it comes to meditation, these are the things that I focus on, and I'm just really fascinated in them. And one of the things that you'll constantly see me doing, or a lot of other, what I would consider a mindfulness coach or a mindset coach doing, would be to put yourself in a position that is uncomfortable. Right now, I could, if I were all warm and snuggly, it would be a lot more comfortable than right now. I'm out in the cold. So Carlin asked a question that I think, she's specifically talking about the cold. She just recently moved to a cold climate, and she's finding it cold all the time. And she says, how should I tackle this cold issue? Should it be something that, should I constantly try to be chilly all the time? Should I be cold all the time? And I think this you can relate this to pretty much every other practice of discomfort. And when it comes to this kind of practice of mindset and mental focus, what we're really trying to do now, cold training has a lot of benefits that are just specific to cold training. Heat training is the same way, breath work, all these different things. But when we're working with discomfort, the goal is not to feel uncomfortable. It's not like I'm trying to make my life a miserable life, okay? Now, some people are more into that sort of thing. I am not. But what I am trying to do is find comfort in the discomfort. And that's not always easy, okay? But it is something that you can do. Now, does that mean I'm constantly cold? Am I gonna, not wear a shirt all day? And am I trying to feel chilly all day? No, that's not what that is. I do live amongst other humans too, right? So it's not like I'm trying to feel chilly all day. I approach a lot of this stuff kind of like going to the gym, or kind of like, going to the gym, or maybe if you practice martial arts or things like that. One of the mantras that you'll hear is you need to work on being comfortable, being uncomfortable. And so we don't do this by just beating ourselves to death. That's not the goal here. The goal here is to become a person who is comfortable in discomfort. So you still have to recover, right? It's not like, if you start exercising, it's not like you never stop. You have to eventually take a break. You have to eventually go to sleep. You have to eventually stop with the arm curls, right? As much as you want those biceps, you have to eventually stop doing that now and then so they grow. The big thing is that there is a method to it, right? You're not just constantly seeking the cold. I think a lot of times, I get this especially from Americans, We get this in our heads. Okay, the cold is good for me. It's not this thing that's bad for me. It's good for me. Therefore, I want more of it, right? Because in America, we're all kind of the whole principle of like, if a little's good, a lot's better. So, hey, vitamin C is great for me. Let's take like 10,000 milligrams a day. So there's a certain degree of kind of a misunderstanding on how this stuff works. Exercise is good for you, but I think we can all agree that you also need to have time in the day where you're not exercising. So yeah, it's not like you're trying to constantly feel cold, and it's not like you're trying to constantly be uncomfortable when you're training mindset. So what there's basically, and this is where my coaching comes into play. This is when I coach a client, or like for instance, I've got an ebook out on how to do cold training. I'll be linking that in the description box below. There is a method on how to make it profitable, because if all I did was stay cold all day, I would be miserable. I'd probably, and the thing is, I'm inducing stress right now. Just so you know, I'm in this, below freezing temperatures. You can see my breath. Yeah, hopefully you can see it. If that would look weird if you couldn't see that just now. But the thing is, I can see it. But the thing is, right now, I'm inducing stress. My body is undergoing stress. And you can't stay in a constant state of stress, or else you can't recover. One of the best quotes I've recently heard is that you can't recover when you're defending. Okay? You can't recover when you're defending. So if you're constantly defending, you can't, it's not like you really have much time to do anything other than defending. Right now, I'm defending. Okay? My body is saying, okay, this is the cold. Jesse keeps putting us in this situation. So we know what to do. All right, capillaries closed, all the norepinephrine, all these chemicals, all the happy chemicals. So I've learned and I've trained myself to endure this stressor so that I can be talking to you without having, I can talk to you like I'm talking to anybody else right now. So there's a certain degree of training that comes into that. And also, once you've learned over time and you've been training the right way with cold, heat, exercise, any of these other things, your body adapts through a process called hormesis. Your body will adapt and you'll be able to endure more of that stressor. And when you're able to endure more of that stressor, then you're able to reap more of the benefits that stressor will bring. So for instance, if I were to talk to some random rookie, I don't know, fortunately nobody's in the park today. So, it's one of those things. But if some random person came up to me and was wanting to start cold training, I would not say it's a good idea to do exactly what I'm doing right now. I don't know how long I've been talking. Let's see here. I've been talking about 7 or 8 minutes. And I've been in the cold about that long. So for the average person, this would probably be teeter-tottering on too much stress. It's too cold too fast. And so even though I'm getting an enormous amount of benefits from it, norepinephrine, all these happy chemicals, there's one of my favorite things is the mitochondrial biogenesis that occurs whenever you train in the cold. You literally increase the amount of energy production that your body can do because of cold training. It's just all these fascinating things that cold training will do. Heat training's a lot like, there's a lot of cool things, but at first you can only take this much. Right? Think about the first time you went to the gym. If you're not a person that typically goes to the gym, think about how much exercise you feel like you could do in one sitting, right? It's probably not as much as your friend who goes 5 to 6 days a week, right? So while going to the gym for a short spurt will give you some benefit, you still need to rest, right? You still need to rest. So coming back to the question, no, I'm not constantly trying to feel chilly. No, I'm not constantly trying to be uncomfortable. And the beautiful thing is, what's really crazy, and you may not believe me at first, because I have become comfortable being uncomfortable, because I am willing to endure this discomfort, when I go and I, get in bed and I put the covers on at night, or whenever I sit down and cushy couch or something like that, I'm actually more comfortable than a person who does not engage the world of discomfort. Because First of all, I know what real comfort is. The only real way to know what comfort is to engage yourself with discomfort. Because discomfort will follow you. It follows you. If you sit down all day, what happens? You get that pelvic tilt, your lumbar spine starts to suffer, and all you were doing is sitting. Discomfort will find you, my friends. So what I suggest that you do is you make a decision and say, okay, no matter what, I'm going to have to deal with discomfort. It's going to happen, whether I choose to or not. I'm going to choose to deal with discomfort. I'm not going to just wait for it to come for me. And in so doing, I get to enjoy all these beautiful benefits. I get to enjoy this beautiful day. I get to have a great day when everybody is miserable. Well, I don't know how many people I've talked to today and they're like, oh man, it's too cold. Oh man, I hate this snow. I can't wait for snow. I can't wait for wintertime. Yes, there are some days that I don't like, but I mean, the degree of comfort in my life has increased because I've chosen to engage with discomfort. So, Carlin, thank you so much for your email. I'm getting so many emails, guys. I'm getting a crazy number of emails. So please be patient. I do appreciate the questions, and I appreciate all the positive comments. Thank you so much for all of that. It really, really helps. Please, if you're interested in doing cold training, take a look at my ebook below, or get a hold of me for online training as well. Guys, thanks so much. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to go out there and be nice to people.
Oh yeah.